Yo, what's going on, y'all? This is Marcus Rosa, a.k.a. Mazuma TV, back at y'all with some more boxing talk, man. I hope everybody's having a blessed, beautiful, positive, productive night. I hope you had a great day overall, man. I'm back at y'all with some more boxing talk. We're going to talk about Erickson Lubin not wanting the Jaron and the smoking, exactly what he wants next if he comes out successful against Virgil Ortiz. We're going to speak about Crawford possibly returning at 160 pounds in March. We're going to speak about Teofimo Shakur fight being deemed imminent for late January in New York. Then, of course, we're going to get into some open boxing topics. But before we get into that, if y'all could please hit the like button on the way in, that'll be very much appreciated. We on the road to 4K. We well into the 3,200 mark, about to hit that 3,300 mark in due time. Shout out to the nation and the mob for making this possible. I'm going to let a few of y'all get in here. I did make the announcement late, so I'm not really expecting the notifications to be hitting right away, if it even hits at all. We're going to make it do what it do regardless, though, man. At this point, if you don't know that Mazuma TV is live, around this time frame every night, then you just might not be tapped in with the nation how you think you is. You know what I mean? Shout out to the boy Coffee Play in the building. What up? King of Brooklyn, what's going on? How we feeling? Let's get them likes in. Let's get the algorithm on the up so that people know that Mazuma TV is live. Shout out to my boy Anonymous for letting the group chat know that we live as well. My brother. Salute. How we feeling? How our nights looking? I hope everything is well with you and yours. Got some things to discuss, man. Erickson Lubin out here acting like he don't want nothing to do with Jaron Ennis if he comes out successful against Virgil. I didn't really believe it at first. I thought Erickson Lubin would have been with the shits. But, hey, man, we definitely going to talk about it. We're going to see whether, are we going to criticize him for it, or is it going to be understandable? Do we understand his perspective? Do we not? We're going to see. Because I seen that Erickson Lubin did an interview with Jagar Talk. You know what I'm saying? He did an interview with Najee from Jagar Talk. If you know, you know. And I guess the question was asked. I didn't get to watch the interview in its entirety. I don't support that channel. But I did see a little clip on Twitter of the interaction between Najee and Erickson Lubin. You feel what I mean? But if it was a good interview, please let me know. How did y'all see the interview? What y'all think about it? Lee Jackson, what up? Agent 86, C Cool, what up? What's going on? We got a few people in the building. That's what's up. We got 7 likes with 9 people. That ain't bad. That definitely ain't bad. Let me go ahead and do this. For the people real quick, man. If you are not a sub, there's no point in you talking, man. It really ain't. So go ahead and sub to the channel. Y'all hit the bell notification so you don't know every time I go live. Coffee said, "Didn't watch that shit." I feel you, bro. And there ain't no shade towards Erickson Lubin, but it's like, come on, bro. We not supporting that. You feel me? Go 787. What up, brother? How we feeling? I see your boy Xander. He just started training camp. That's a very, very positive sign. That's a very, very positive sign for Xander Zayas. Now, I don't think he's making his return in December how he initially planned, but look like there's definitely something in motion. He might have got that Barawu unification fight. That's what it's looking like, man. If Xander Zayas got that fight, he just made a huge power move in his career. Because to this date, I think outside of Oscar Collazo, Oscar Collazo, is he unified at this point? I think he is. Let me check. I think Oscar Collazo, he got the WBO. I don't think he's unified. I might be wrong. Let me see. Yeah. He got the WBA and the WBO, so he's unified. Shout out to Agent 86. But I was going to say he was going to be the only Puerto Rican unified champion, but he'll be the second. So that's dope. That'll be dope to have 2 unified champions from Puerto Rico. That'll be pretty dope. For it being such a small country, man, Puerto Rico is packed with a shit ton of talent. Love to see it, man. We was going through a little dry spell when Miguel Cotto retired, but They picking things back up over there. I love it. Okay, Baboon, you said Baboon Balloon. He said, on my way home from MMA sparring. That's what's up, brother. King of Brooklyn said, "Damn, I ain't watch, but that make me less confident in him versus Virgil." Listen, I don't know. There's a likelihood that he could beat Virgil Ortiz. That's not what I'm really talking about. What I'm talking about is, and I spoke on this previously because Erickson Lubin had said this in a prior interview that he's not really looking for a Jaron Ennis fight. I just found it ironic that he said in the interview that he didn't respect Jaron Ennis fighting Louise Malima in his debut at 154 pounds. And he said something along the lines of, "You could have chose one of us." So when you're saying one of us, you're including yourself in that situation. So I'm thinking, could he have chose you? But now that, Jaron Ennis has the WBA interim title, he's a playmaker in the division, whether we like it or not, whether he likes it or not, because I love it. But, he's saying if he comes out victorious against Virgil Ortiz, of course, he'll be the WBC interim champion, which is no less than what Jaron Ennis is at this point. You're an interim belt holder. So I guess after Virgil, he can't pick you, but he could have picked you before. It's not really making sense. You say, you could have chose one of us, but in the same token, you're saying, I'm not fighting Jaron Ennis next. I want to get a shot at Fundora, blah, blah, blah. It's like, come on, dog. Yeah, I didn't really understand that, Cal Bundy. It's like, how you going to say you could have chose one of us and then say that he basically can't choose you or you're not choosing him? It's like, what are we doing for real? Boots just vacated. Oh, well, yeah, because he moved up in weight. But he's currently an interim title holder. No more, no less than what Virgil Ortiz is at this point. Virgil has the WBC interim. Boots has the WBA interim. You find the Virgil Ortiz fight to be more prestigious than fighting Boots. And reality is like they're on the same fucking level. Just to be clear, Virgil Ortiz has the more notable wins at this point in time than Boots, but he also has 4 more fights. Wait, how many fights? He fought Frederick Lawson, he fought Thomas Delorme, Madrimov, and he fought Boachuk, not in that order, but he got 4 fights at 54. He got 3 more fights than Jaron Ennis, about to have 4 more fights than Jaron Ennis has at this point in time. So, you have you should have more notable wins. And in a weight class, you got 4 more fights than somebody else in. It is what it is. But, with one fight that Boots got into the division, he's literally on the same level title-wise than Virgil Ortiz. But it is what it is. Yeah, Sierra Ali, I think you asked me this question up before, brother. You said, how do you see Virgil versus Lubin going? I mean, I give the edge to Virgil Ortiz, man. I think that his output, I think his intensity, and I do think he's more intelligent than people give Virgil Ortiz credit for. Like I thought Mazumov might have just pulled it off against Virgil, but he proved me wrong. He showed more tools in his bag than I had anticipated. Especially coming off of a shaky performance against Sergey Boachuk, where a lot of people thought he lost. I think Virgil is an emotional fighter, but at the same time, when he's able to put that to the side or at least maintain a level of composure, definitely got some tools up his sleeve. He places punches really well. He punches a combination. He comes in spectacular shape. Fast hands. Doesn't have the most sound. He's not really that, good defensively. He definitely makes a lot of mistakes, but he has that accumulative power, and he has the conditioning necessary to continue chipping away at you until you break. So that's something that could definitely give Erickson Lubin problems, because Erickson Lubin, he could box. You know what I mean? He is experienced at this point. He's been at the top of 154 for a good amount of time now. This is somebody who was very green, to be real with you. Wasn't even pro that long when he stepped in and fought Jermell Charlo. You know what I mean? And that was Jermell Charlo. Hold on, I got caught up in the comments. Oh, you said that was your first time asking me. Okay. Hold on. I lost my train of thought. Shit. Anonymous says, to be fair, he's just saying if he beats Virgil, he's pursuing a title shot. I mean, I definitely understand that. That should be something that he is looking for. But like I said, I actually seen an interview where he said, yo, like at 154, in your debut, fighting Luis Malima, he didn't respect it. He said you could have chose one of us. So when you're saying that he could have chose one of y'all, that makes me think that you have some type of availability for the fight. I mean, that's what that's telling me. Like, you're open to the fight. You're available for that fight. That's something that you would entertain. But at the same time, you're making it clear that you're not really entertaining the Jaron in this fight after the Virgil Ortiz fight. You see what I'm saying? So, it's just weird that he started it off like that and then ended it like that. There's nothing wrong with y'all not understanding what I'm saying. Next Gen, you're not understanding what I'm saying. What I'm telling you is, when you're saying that somebody could have chose you for a fight, but then within the same interview say that you're not really looking for a Jaron Ennis fight after this one, it's like, how do we know that you were available in the first place if you're not available at this point in time? So you're available here, but you're not available after this. It's like, I'm not understanding. And to be real, it's like, well, all of the fights that could be made at 54, right? And we know PBC, they like to keep things in-house, and that's a fight that may very likely happen. PBC likes to, they don't really like to bring outsiders in to do fights. You know what I mean? But who's really asking for Lubin and Fundora too? When there's so many other fights that could be made. They might still make it. Let's not get it fucked up. But is that a fight that we really asking for? See, cool. Oh, yeah. So like I was saying, let me go back to answering that question. I do got Virgil edging that fight with Erickson Lubin. Erickson Lubin has skills. He has a shit ton of experience. You know what I mean? And he's shown that he could box against aggressive guys like Jesus Ramos. But I do think Virgil Ortiz is, a different case from Jesus Ramos. You're talking about somebody who lets their hands go a lot more, takes more chances, is a bit more intense, fights at a, quicker pace, a more intense pace. So that's something that, Erickson Lubin has to be ready for. I do think that Erickson Lubin has this tendency of, wanting to trade fire with fire. I do think that he loses focus. And I've heard him say that in the past, especially speaking on the Fundora fight, that, he may have, he might have lost focus, throughout certain, instances during the fight. You know what I mean? And that's not that's not the type of mentality you want to carry over to this Virgil Ortiz fight. You have to box consistently. You cannot give Virgil any type of opportunities to be himself and, drop bombs on you, because them things do, accumulate. And Virgil Ortiz, he got a gas tank for all 12 rounds. So you got to really play your cards carefully. Smoochie, what up? Yeah, it goes. That's exactly what I'm saying. So he's saying the point is he's contradicting himself. My fault. I scrolled and went backwards. I fucked up. But anyways, yeah. Rouse said it's like, why you mentioned you were available if you didn't have the intention to fight in the future? Yeah, that's what's kind of strange. That's what I thought to be contradicting. You know what I mean? But he probably was like, I was available then, and then, but if I beat Virgil, I'm not available at that moment. It's just like, all right, so yeah, your availability is conditional. It's not like you really, like, only under certain circumstances that you would want that fight. And to me, that's like, but I bet you if he were to lose to Virgil Ortiz, you know what I mean, all of a sudden he'll be available for a Jaron in this fight. It's like, I don't like that conditional shit. If you with the smoke, be with the smoke regardless of the outcome. You feel what I'm saying? If you get a better opportunity with Fundora, then of course take it. But I just don't like that selective shit. Feel me? Cal Bundy said Dog was hating on Boo soon as that fight with Lima ended on Twitter. Erickson Lubin, he's a competitor. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really want to chalk it up to hating. That's not what I want to put out there. He's a competitor. He's looking to be the number one guy in his division. And he's been in his division so long that it's like, you know what I mean? He be damned if a motherfucker who just coming up take over all the spotlight, especially when, you know, Lubin feels like Jaron Ennis didn't beat anybody credible. You feel what I mean? So he probably like, man, why y'all niggas giving him all this props? Look who he just beat. But then it could also be that Lubin been in this division all these years and he hasn't had a moment like Jaron Ennis has had, you know, with his debut at 154. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if Erickson Lubin has ever gotten that much attention throughout the entire course of his career, unless it was him being stopped in the first round by Jermell Charlo. Since he's been stopped by Jermell, it's been really hard for him to maintain. You know, he's got some good wins. Jason Rosario, Jesus Ramos, you know what I mean? Luis Arias. Yeah, I mean, he's had a few good wins. Let's not get it fucked up, but he hasn't had like that big moment, you know what I mean, where people like, yo, Lubin really, he's really him at 54. He hasn't been able to bounce back since that loss, in my opinion. But yeah, it could Ralph, it could be very, very well just some competitive nature, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think people mix up the two. I don't necessarily think you a hater if you're you know, talking shit about somebody. That's just you wanting to be you wanting to be him. You know what I mean? And that's just regular masculine men shit, alpha male type shit. You want to be number one. You don't really see anybody, you know, fucking with you, so you want to make that clear. You're like, yo, I'm here. This nigga said Lubin is envious, and when he loses on Saturday, it's donezo. Well, I was rooting for Erickson Lubin, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I wanted him to pull that shit off against Virgil, but at the same time, and hear me out. Sometimes I take this into consideration. I do think it's better for boxing if Virgil Ortiz wins. I do. I just feel like Virgil Ortiz is on this type of time now where it's like, he really wanting to prove himself. And I think he really wants to fight Jaron Ennis. I do. And I don't think he would have a problem facing Jaron Ennis. And that's the fight that I ultimately want. So I would hate for Erickson Lubin to beat Virgil at this point in time because, you know what I mean? Erickson Lubin was number one in the WBC when he lost to Sebastian Fundora. You know what I mean? Like, he was like the top guy. He was the top guy in the division. I clearly remember that. And Fundora, he had a little bit of some shaky performances coming up, but he was still making his way up. You feel what I mean? So Lubin gave, to keep it real, when you really look back at it, Lubin gave Fundora the opportunity. Fundora beat him and ran away with it and became world champion. Like, Lubin, like, fuck. Like, that's where I was trying to go. So I understand why he wants that fight, in all honesty, but at the same time, it's like, I really feel like Erickson Lubin, if he were to beat Virgil Ortiz, he's just gonna sit on that win until he gets that opportunity. And then he's gonna sit on that interim title until he get that opportunity. I don't think he's gonna be willing to make that same mistake and giving somebody an opportunity and possibly overthrowing his opportunity at a world title. You know what I mean? That's just me. I think that'll be him learning from his mistakes. Not to give no young up-and-coming niggas no opportunities because that can include him losing, then he'll have to start back at square one. And I think Erickson Lubin done been a pro for a decade plus. Keep it real. I think he turned pro when I was in like high school, nigga. You talking about a decade plus. So he knows that he probably got more time behind him than ahead of him, to keep it real. And this may be his last opportunity at getting a crack at a world title. So I get it, but I do want to see Jaron Ennis get one of those big fights at 54. You know what I'm saying? And I think that, hold on, let me make sure my battery's not dying. Oh shit, it's on 9%. I do want to see Virgil and Boots, and if Erickson Lubin got to get stepped on in order for me to see that, then, you know, I'll be rooting for Virgil. And, you know, Virgil from he you know, I rock with my, you know, my black fighters, but at the same time, they both American fighters. They ain't like Virgil coming from across the pond. You know what I mean? Ain't nothing wrong with rooting for a Hispanic fighter sometimes. Shit. Especially if it means that we get to see Boots in a big fight at 154. Shit, I would love to see that. But if Erickson Lubin beats him, then more power to him. You know what I mean? That'll be huge for Erickson Lubin in his career. But I do think that Virgil has certain. Lubin has certain tendencies where, especially if he don't feel like, if he gets a little bit fatigued and don't feel like using his feet or his side, like his side to side movement and stuff like that. I think that's when he gonna start trying to sit down and trade with Virgil Ortiz, and I think that's when shit's gonna go south for real, for real. Andres Kiani says, I usually root for the black fighter over the Mexican, but Ortiz winning is better for boxing. I agree. I definitely agree. Yeah, and it's very rare if I root for a Mexican fighter over a black fighter. Even though a majority of my favorite fighters are Mexican right now. I don't really root for for Anthony Yard and David Benavidez. Come on. Benavidez, bro. And there's not many fighters I'll root for over Benavidez. There's not many fighters that I'll root for over Bam, just to keep it real. But yeah, for the most part, I'll root for a black fighter over a Mexican, for sure. Smoochie, stop telling me what to do. Worry about staying awake. Your old ass. Yeah, I seen that Azim and Kurt Scooby fight. I don't really know what to make of Scooby, man. Like, I don't know if this dude, like, I know he's a bit older. You know what I mean? They've been big. I think he's with OT, right? They've been promoting him really well. But I remember, man. When that white boy put them paws on him, man. I remember that boy, the one that beat up on Josue Vargas too. That motherfucker Dakota Linger. That's his name, right? His name, like, he got a weird name. His name like Dakota. Dakota. Is that his name, y'all? Let me know. Keep me in check, y'all. Was he Okay, yeah. So his name is Dakota Linger. I feel like Dakota wasn't like no crazy fighter neither, but I don't know. He just went on this run where he was just upsetting niggas. Well, when he fought Josue Vargas was already cooked. Let's just keep it 1,000. Yeah, I seen him watch Kurt Scooby, and then I was like, since then, like, Kurt Scooby, he's back on a winning path, to be honest, but he never really got in no fights that I've seen personally that let me know that, like, oh, he's a totally different fighter. Like, I don't know that. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know too much about the Azim dude. I've seen him around knocking shit out. You know what I mean? Undefeated dude. And most recently, I just seen him beat up on the Samurai, man. He said Dakota Labrikins. Who the fuck is that? Nah, Dakota Linger was definitely hard body. Pause. He definitely liked that. But I don't know. I mean, Kurt Scooby, if I don't know what he does with Adam Azim. I gotta watch him. I definitely gotta watch him. He said Josue Vargas a TikToker now. Yeah, he got a bussy too. He be doing a little weird shit. He's he part of that. He a part of that community. You know what I mean? He like to get into booty play. He a weirdo. But anyways, I don't know if Kurt Scooby has really done anything since his loss to let me know if he's ready for Adam Azim. Like I said, I got to study up on Adam just a little bit more. But I did see that fight where he beat up on Sergey Lipinets. So that might be a tough fight for Kurt Scooby, man. That might be. But we'll see. We'll see. You know what I mean? We'll see. Can't really speak too much. I definitely watched a whole lot of Kurt Scooby. You know what I mean? I actually seen a fight in Philadelphia earlier this year. I seen him pack up dude. But yeah, Bellaface said, what did I step into? No, Josue Vargas, he like to put things in his rectum. You know, he got that De La Hoya trait. You know what I mean? And he be letting boys play with his pickle. Yeah, he like when boys spit on his pickle. That's what I heard. He a weirdo. But yeah, I don't know what's up with him. I remember that Cepeda dude, Jose Cepeda, cracked him. Pause, not that way. Probably would have liked that shit. But Jose Cepeda cracked him on the chin. He wasn't the same after that. Then he went and fought Dakota Linger. Top Rank set Josue up. Josue must have been on their shit list or something. Because why coming off of that knockout would you go ahead and have that dude fight Dakota Linger when y'all know he like that? You know what I mean? Like, ain't no way Top Rank brought Dakota Linger in there. Like, they did that the fuck Josue Vargas over, bro. And there's no way. Like, y'all ain't even let that nigga rest for a year coming off of that knockout. To go, like, Jose Cepeda stopped him in the first round. He might have took a fight in between that. But it's like, y'all put Jose Cepeda, stopped him in one round, had his head all over the place. He falling all over and shit. Had his brother crying. Nigga crying in the crowd. They holding him. He falling all into the nigga arms and shit. Then you go ahead and put him in there with Dakota Linger. Oh, yeah. Y'all motherfuckers sent the cleanup on aisle 7 for sure. Y'all sent that nigga to put the nail in the coffin. Top Rank some cold motherfuckers. There's no way that y'all hit him up with that fight thinking that he was going to come out successful in that. Yeah, they wanted to seal his doom. That's definitely what they did. Orlando Cruz energy, heavy. And that's sad because I think Orlando Cruz and Josue Puerto Rican. Who do you think is a better fighter between Josue Vargas and Edgar Berlanga? I mean, neither one of them proven for real. But I guess you would say Berlanga because at least Berlanga, I don't even know. Neither one of them are proven. But at least, Berlanga, even though he may have not deserved it, at least he fought, the top guys. Like Jose got clipped before he got anywhere near the top guys. Well, Jose Cepeda, he ended up fighting Regis for the belt. But, Jose Cepeda, I never looked at him as a top 140. I really didn't. But at least Berlanga fought. He lost to elite guys. Like, Josue, like, he got clipped before he even got to the elite guys. So I guess you could say, like, Berlanga, but not anything, like, neither one of them I'm really impressed with. Yeah, like Berlanga beat like Romer Alexis Angulo. R3 says Steve Rose. Yeah, he got the better win. So, yeah, I guess you could say Berlanga. But neither one of them are impressive. Let's just make that clear. You know what I mean? Not to the Puerto Rican standard. And plus, Josue Vargas, I don't know. Like, he's supposed to fight this Puerto Rican boy from Philly. Brandon Pizarro, I believe, and he pulled out. So the nigga he be online fronting like he does, I don't know. Like, he'd rather play with his booty. I don't know. He'd rather stick things in his rectum than, fight anymore. So I guess that's what's paying on OnlyFans, I guess. I don't know. I don't really know what to say about dude. Berlanga think he a superstar, but I think that's what I think Berlanga. And I can never give nobody no career advice. People gonna do whatever the fuck they want to do in their career. But I do think him leaving Top Rank was a mistake. Bully, you better relax for you get timed out in this motherfucker. You said that's my Rican brother. You need to relax. First of all. Don't nobody who put things in their booty, my brother. Or had niggas play with their pickle. That's not a brother of mine. No disrespect, but come on. Let's not do that. Berlanga lasted 12 rounds with Canelo. Yeah, we ain't gonna give him no props for that though. You know what I mean? But at least he did that, Josue was getting stopped in one round and ain't do shit since then. But Berlanga, he should have stood with Top Rank. They was protecting him. They was making sure he was nice and safe. Motherfucker signed with Eddie, and Eddie lined him right away. He said, "Oh yeah, let's get you some UK guys. Let me feed us some you call them? What you call them niggas? What's their names over there and stuff? Yeah, let's give them a couple Campbells. Let's give them a couple Callums. Let's give them a couple Liams. Let's give them a couple Billy Joes. Let's give them a few of those. And man, lined him up right with Canelo, cashed him out. Oh my God. As soon as Eddie Hearn saw the opportunity, Eddie will want to see what you made of. Well, sometimes Eddie will know that a nigga ain't shit. So he's like, you know what? Let's just cash this nigga out. He'll sign you just to cash you out. He would. You know what I mean? He saw that, Edgar Berlanga, he has a massive fan base in New York, But he knew that nigga was no good. Eddie Hearn did his research. He was like, oh, man, he a motherfucking muffin. But he could probably sell some tickets. He probably, let's get him this Canelo. Canelo by this time, he wasn't really doing deals with Eddie anymore. He wasn't doing deals with Eddie anymore. But Eddie, he trying to get a percentage of a Canelo Alvarez fight. Shit. You know what I mean? So what he did, he gave him a couple of turkeys, lined him up with Canelo, got a nice little check off that. It is what it is. Some people do that. They'll kick you to the curb right after that. The thing is, after Edgar Berlanga lost to Canelo, he had this like inflated sense of like he had like this crazy like diluted like sense of like worth, I guess you would say. Like he really thought after losing to Canelo, he was a superstar. So he wanted to get paid this, and that and fight. It's like, bro, you was a cherry pick. You lasted 12, you went to a decision and you think you that? Yeah, parade for losing every round. Yeah, Then Turkey lined him. So his boy could, come up off his name. Hamza Shiraz. But anyways, do you think that's what he's doing with Ben Whitaker? I don't know. It's hard because Ben Whitaker already had like a little awkward fight. You know what I mean? Where a lot of people claimed he quit and shit like that, but he avenged that loss. You feel me? So I don't know. I don't know exactly what Eddie Hearn thinks of him, but what I think Eddie Hearn is doing is experimenting right now. I think he's experimenting who's going to be the next UK star. Like I said, Anthony Joshua's on his way out. He got more time behind him than ahead of him, right? He probably retire at the end of next year. That was the rumor that was going around. He probably going to get like 1-2 more fights out of Anthony Joshua. You know what I mean? Conor Ben, he just lost to Chris Eubank. He might lose to Chris Eubank again. So I think what he's doing is, he's trying to see who's the next big star to come out of the UK. Or, somebody that he can sell a shit ton of tickets with in the UK. He's using Conor Ben right now, but we don't know how long that's going to last to keep it 1,000. But it's Conor Ben's talking about he was going to fight for a title at 147. He's going to get a title at 147, after this fight with Chris Eubank. So, I think he's just looking for the big shit. If he could get multiple stars in the UK, then why not? That's Eddie Hearn's. That's the market that Eddie Hearn thrives in. That's the UK market is what helped Eddie Hearn transition over to the US. So he want to keep that shit. He want to keep that flowing over there. So I don't know what he thinks of Ben Whitaker, but he probably just trying to make him to be a big star out of the UK, so he can keep running them numbers up with him. My camera's lagging bad, really? I don't see that. I'm looking at my live from my phone, and my shit not lagging. That's interesting. I think I see what you're talking about. Let me see. see what you're saying. It's lagging a little bit, but you know, it is what it is. That's StreamYard for you. Let me see. R3 said Ben Whittaker said that Eddie Hearn said that Ben Whittaker will be ready for Benavidez in 3 to 4 fights. What do you think? I think he has his motherfucking mind. I think that Ben Whittaker needs a lot more time for Benavidez than just that. You feel what I mean? I feel like the only motherfuckers that have a chance of being Benavidez at 75 is the 2 top elite guys, whether it's Beterbiev or Bivol. I don't see anybody else. You know, this is all opinionated, of course. I don't know for certain. But I think those are the only 2 guys that could beat him. You know what I mean? And outside of that, I think Benavidez is worse. I think that he will be more vulnerable in the higher weight divisions, like cruiserweight, especially against guys like Jai Opatai and shit like that. But no, Ben Whittaker is not one of them guys. To be honest with you, Ben Whittaker, there's motherfuckers who I've seen coming up at 175 that look a lot more promising than him, in my opinion. You say he should go for Buatsi. That's a good one. That's definitely a good one. But you know, I think there's a kid at 175. There's two guys right now that should be talked about at 175. One of them is Atifo Burlington. I'm telling y'all, bro. I'm telling y'all, I know boxing, bro. I could see somebody like Atif is a special talent. Now, you know, is he gonna get the opportunities like these guys do? I don't know. You know what I mean? That's ultimately up to him and his team putting him in position. Teef is special, man. Like very special. He could very possibly win a world title if he plays his cards right. I'm telling you. But there's this other kid named Najee Lopez. My personal opinion, I mean, this is all off the eye test. Najee Lopez, Ben Whittaker is not better than Najee Lopez. He's not. I'm sorry. That, like, based off of what I've seen, how polished Najee looks, his punch selection, his jab, that flashy shit not going to work against somebody like Najee Lopez, bro. Because that flashy shit look cool until you in there with somebody who sound fundamentally, you know, like what's this dude name? Naseem Hamed. All that flashy shit look cool until he got in there with a sound boxer. You feel what I'm saying? Like there's ways to neutralize that shit. I think Najee got that. And I don't think you could be playing with somebody like Najee because he looks strong as shit too. Like Najee reminds me of like how the way he was hurting Calvin Henderson. And the way he was still able to maintain his composure, that controlled aggression, like the poise that he has, like it reminded me of like 154 Jamal Charlo. That's what that reminded me of. Like when I was watching him break up Calvin Henderson, it almost reminded me of Jamal Charlo versus Cornelius Bundridge when Jamal Charlo got his first world title when he grabbed that IBF strap. Calvin wasn't visibly hurt like Cornelius was throughout the fight, but it was like it was just the way he was picking his shots and everything was just flowing, bro. It looked effortless. Yeah, Barrera definitely whooped that ass. Yeah, I mean, but Ben Whittaker, they gonna have him on a protection program. At least Eddie is, just like how he did with Anthony Joshua, because he can make a shit ton of money off him. You're not gonna cash him out anytime soon. Him saying that Benavidez, he'll be ready for Benavidez in 3 to 4 fights. That's Eddie Hearn just trying to attach his name to other top guys so people can talk about him more. That's like promoter one-on-one. That's like promotional tactics one-on-one, yeah. Like that's basic shit right there. One of the ways that you could make a name for your fighters is attaching them to other people's names. That's all that is. And I'm sure Eddie Hearn gonna keep running his mouth, attaching Whittaker's name to Benavidez. Man, you better keep Whittaker away from Benavidez. Benavidez will stop Ben Whittaker. That pace, the punch combinations. I seen Whittaker on them ropes getting picked off in that one fight he had trouble in. Ben not sitting on the ropes with no motherfucking Benavidez. That's easy money. Easy money. R3 said it would be dope if Turkey could make Najee Lopez versus Ben Whittaker on a big card next year. Okay. That'd be a devastating jump for Ben Whitaker, in my opinion. But if Ben was able to beat Najee, then young boy the truth. For sure. I would give Ben all the props in the world if he were to beat Najee Lopez. But me personally, I don't think so. I think Najee will beat him up. Shit, we not even getting into the topics for real, but it is what it is. We chopping it up. Shout out to the 37 people in the building. We 40 minutes in. Y'all go ahead and hit the likes. Where is dude from? Who you talking about? Najee Lopez? I think he from Atlanta. Bella Faith, you can confirm for me. I think he's from Atlanta though. He's from the South somewhere. Rob said he gonna try to throw Benavidez over the ropes like he did the other dude when Benavidez starts to break him down. Benavidez ain't going nowhere, bro. You ain't lifting that fat motherfucker up off of his feet. That shit not happening. Oh, okay, from ATL. What's Ellenwood? Where's Ellenwood at? Najee Lopez is half Puerto Rican, from what I understand. We got Puerto Ricans everywhere, Swooshy. Najee is half Puerto Rican, from what I understand. But I know that Najee Lopez and Brian Norman, they cool. Like, they good friends. Apparently, they, like, grew up together or something. I don't know. Najee Lopez might have been born in Puerto Rico. I don't know. But I know he's not living there now. That's what I do know. Where's Ellenwood at? They say he was born in Atlanta, Georgia, but his residence is Ellenwood. His nationality, he identifies as Puerto Rican. But he might have just, you know what some people do? I'm going to tell y'all something. Some of these pros will say that they from their country so they can have more of like a standout ranking. Not saying that's what Najee Lopez did, but let's say, for instance, like I'm a Puerto Rican fighter, or I'm a Puerto Rican professional boxer, and like in the US, I might be ranked 103. But if I go and I say that I'm from Puerto Rico, they'll put me in the Puerto Rico rankings. Now I'm ranked number 3. Number 3 ranked sounds a lot better than being ranked 103. So there's people that'll do that just because. Like Metro ATL Southeast. Okay. Yeah, I don't know anything about Atlanta. I've never been there. He said Benavidez is a former big back. If anything, he gonna manhandle Ben Whitaker. Yeah, them fat niggas that be coming down their weight, they be strong as shit. I'm telling you. That they body be accustomed to holding all that weight. Them niggas be nice and strong. Leave them former fat niggas, you need to leave them alone. And when Benavidez ain't training, he turned back into he looked like he turned back into a big back. For real. The stranger says, so Mark, what's your advice for Tank moving forward? Retire. Yeah. So basically more recognition. Exactly, Marlon. Marissa, what's going on? Marissa, how you feeling? How we feeling today? Good to see you. One of my favorite people. Shout out to Marissa Alvarez. Hey, man. Subaru Matias, J Cash, y'all laughing at me? I'm dead ass. It's like, bro, like that dude Tank, like something really wrong with dude. Like he got some type of mental health issues going on. I don't know exactly what to call it. But like he's like disturbed. That's a disturbed individual. Tank is. You know what I mean? I don't know what it is. But like I read them comments about Victor Conti again, just reading them online. I'm like, bro, this dude's sick, bro. Like, with everything we know about you being in a motherfucking group home because your parents rather do drugs than, be in your life in a healthy way. Like it's like, and you and your mom had the same haircut back when you was at 130. Like y'all niggas weird. Like you and your mom got the same barber, but you want to talk on deaf people. They're like, that shit weird to me. Like you shouldn't be talking about you shouldn't be speaking on a dead, shouldn't be speaking on nobody if your mom and Jada Pinkett got the same fade. Like fuck out of here. Y'all niggas be cooking me with that shit, bro. Yeah, he's a weirdo. You know what I mean? It's like how I don't even know how y'all niggas could like Tank at this point. Yeah, Tank, you know when Tank had that shortcut when he was at 130, him and his mom got the same one. Bella Face said, had dude ever even met Conti? I don't know, but something tells me he hasn't. Like, you know what I mean? But I don't know, bro. Like, I don't really know what to call it. I don't know what to call it. That's what the fuck I walk into. No, they asked me about I forgot what they asked me about. What Tank speaking on the dead, speaking on the dead, man. You know what I mean? It's like Victor Conti. I mean, he passed away. He was 75 years old. They said he had pancreatic cancer, man. Shout out to all my cancer survivors out there. And rest in peace to my people that fell victim, to cancer and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I had a few people in my family, like my grandfather that passed away. He didn't pass away from cancer, but he had colon cancer, from what I understand. He survived that. My other grandfather on my mom's side had bladder cancer. He beat that. My older cousin, she had leukemia. She beat that. You know what I mean? So that's been a constant thing in my family, bro. So, you know what I mean? Whenever I see somebody pass from cancer, it stings. You feel what I'm saying? So Victor Conti, he might have been known in boxing for the wrong reasons and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, one thing that we can say about Victor Conti is we don't have any type of, and I didn't want him in boxing. I'm just keeping it 1,000, but we don't really have no evidence, we don't have no evidence as of right now that he came back into the sport and was, giving fighters performance enhancement drugs. I see somebody launch like a supplement company that, help fighters with recovery and, endurance and things of that nature. I see somebody who actually teamed up with VADA to help, to help intensify their testing so they could find more drug cheats. Victor Conti basically became an informant for, these anti-doping agencies and, he attempted to right his wrongs. You know what I mean? So I don't know if, somebody making a mistake in the past really warrants them to be, celebrated when they pass away. Like, celebrating somebody's death is insane. Unless you like the biggest piece of shit ever, it's like, come on. That was unwarranted. That was unnecessary. You didn't even know the man for real. You feel me? And it's like, why do we put so much stock into what Tank say? The nigga's a pussy. I'm sorry to hear that, C. Cool. Very, very that's sad, bro. That's sad. I'm sorry you had to experience that, but I ain't gonna lie. When Chadwick Boseman passed away from colon cancer, that was very disturbing to me. You know what I mean? Because with somebody who has a chronic illness, known as ulcerative colitis, a lot of people who have ulcerative colitis are very, I'm not gonna say very, but are prone to, catching, colon cancer. So that was a huge wake up call to me. And, that's just insensitive, bro. You know what I mean? Like, if you didn't agree with him being in the sport, I don't know if that warrants celebrating his death. Like, that's cornball shit. Right. Yo, Bella Faith, I was saying the same thing yesterday, chopping it up with the homies. Like, he celebrated, and that's how you know Tank is a very unintelligent human being, because you talking about snack over. He said some shit like that, like snack is over, some crazy shit like that. Snack not over. Victor Conti passing away doesn't just nigga think because Victor Conti passed away that snack just gonna pass away with him. That's not how that works, you fucking dummy. I'm sure that company's getting passed over to somebody else. Somebody gonna buy the company, whatever the case is. They're gonna continue pushing that product because, from what I heard, it was very profitable. Stupid ass. So it's like, I don't know why we put. at this point, bro, I don't really care for what Gervonta Davis says. He's a bitter, he's a bitter weirdo. Very, very bitter individual. Pussy, to be honest. Like, there's no other way to put it. Like, you as a man, how you even, and that's probably why you be hitting on your girls, so they be standing up to you because they know you a bitch. Like, you swinging on a woman is just you looking for another easy fight. The fact that you so willing to swing on women before you swing, and by the way, and I know, man, you know these girls be like, I don't give a fuck, nigga. Tank did it, nigga. He did it. Like, so what? Like, he did it, bro. You're not gonna be getting accused by, all these different women of being an abuser and you not one. Like I said, if one or two, them bitches could be capping. They could be capping. But the whole world not going to be lying about you. If one or two people say that you a piece of shit or they don't like you because you, for this reason and that reason, all right, you know what I mean? That could just be some bitter motherfuckers. But if you got a whole block saying you a bitch, if the whole block say you a thief, it's probably because you stole from them, nigga. Not everybody crazy. They not. Tank got abusive tendencies. He be admitting that he got skeletons in his closet. That's why, he's so ready to get therapy. Why you think that is? That motherfucker conscience be eating him alive. And he's a very, very insecure individual. So much so that he's not willing to face top competition because his worst fear is losing. If you secure with yourself and you know that even if you come up, knowing that, and I remember Floyd Mayweather saying, yo, bro, if I was to ever lose in a boxing ring, I hold my head up high because I know I gave it everything I had. That's a sign of security as a fighter. Tank being so happy that he got a draw with Lamont Rose. Remember, he was leaving the arena smiling, just like showing like motherfucking palms and teeth. I was like, yo, like he's so happy that he didn't get a loss. So much so that you scared, you was happy to get a draw? What type of weird, like, why would you ever be happy with getting a draw? Even if you lose, motherfucker, you Tank Davis. Right. And you know what's crazy? Even if Tank would have lost, we would have gave him more respect than what we're giving him now for being a fucking duck artist. They be saying that nigga Gabe Rosado, like, he's loved in LA. Like on the West Coast, the Mexicans love Gabe Rosado. He get embraced by the people. This motherfucker got loss after loss after loss after loss. Derek Chisora, he get all the love in the UK. That man got loss after loss after loss. You feel me? And it's like, and what I always heard in the gym is if you're not built for the L's, you ain't built for the W's, cuz. You not. You not. I seen Go 787 say Rosado a dog, never quits. Facts. I seen this man I seen his rating get detached against David Lemieux, kept rumbling. Like, I seen blood. I seen his whole face break up against Triple G. He kept rumbling. Yo, like, Tank was so happy that he had a draw. And I said, oh, this nigga's okay with subpar results. Just as, like, he was willing to hear everything except a loss. Like, he was okay with that. He ain't no real competitor for real, cuz. You said you got a 7-fight deal. You just said that Shakur Stevenson was on your list and how you would do this to Shakur and do that to Shakur. And they be like, yo, what's up with the Shakur Stevenson fight? Well, I never said I'd fight him. Huh? Like, what? That's what we doing? I was out here lying. He was so hurt when the crowd was booing. Yeah. Yeah. What has Shakur done? Yeah, I know. But you lost to you lost to Lamont Roach, who didn't accomplish as much as Shakur. Fucking dumb. You fought Hector Luis Garcia, bro. What the fuck he do to get a shot at you, nigga? Beat up Chris Colbert? What the fuck Frank Martin do to fight you? Beat up the reincarnation of Muhammad Ali, Michelle Rivera? That's what he had to do? The Duno victory? Stop it, man. Like, if y'all niggas gonna be if y'all gonna be making statements, y'all gotta make sure that shit ain't contradictory. That's all. I feel like I'm getting a little sore throat, man. Frank barely beat Artem before the Tank fight. But he want to tell you that Shakur ain't doing nothing. It's like, what? I knew Tank was a scary ass nigga when he ducked Lubin at 30. That's when I knew. I was like, oh yeah, these niggas, that shit just all talk. But then I was like, you know what? He, you know what I mean? Try to get a nigga past. Then when I seen the whole Devin Haney situation, bro, he didn't give us no fights we wanted. This nigga just gave us Ryan Garcia, but Ryan Garcia the easiest work out of everybody we mentioned. He knew Ryan was easy money. That's why he took the fight. And then put a rehydration clause on him too. Bro, he didn't even give us the fight that we wanted a little bit. He was over here fighting Jesus Cuellar and all this shit. Nigga, we was talking about Tevin Farmer. You couldn't even give us Tevin. You would have beat him. That's the crazy part. Like, you such a scary ass nigga that you could clearly beat these niggas, but you so scared to put yourself in a small position to lose. Like, you don't want to take no risk, nigga. Like, you want to roll the dice and it just be 7 every time. Like, nigga, that's not how this shit works. That nigga would even. I seen Gary Russell call Tank all types of bitches. Nigga never got a single response. Let me see. Nigga, Terrence Crawford would have beat the dog shit out of Tank, bro. Come on, why would we even have this conversation? I remember Tank saying that he'll do some. He said he'll do some shit to Crawford, but it was like, nigga, we don't believe you, nigga. Terrence Crawford a real fucking dog, nigga. You was a bitch, nigga. You should have been like Shakur and be that little nigga big bro. You probably would have grew some fucking nuts, nigga. But your big homie was Adrian Broner. I'm gonna tell y'all niggas something. If y'all actually want to be something, you gotta make sure the niggas around you is either on their way to being something or are actually something. Because if you surround yourself with 3 bums, you're gonna be the 4th one. If you surround yourself around 4 somebodies, you're gonna be the 5th somebody. Your company, you only as real as the company you keep. I'm gonna just say that. And I'm not saying Adrian Broner a bum, but he definitely underachieved. And that's what the fuck Tank doing right now. Underachieving. Said Broner fought everyone. I mean, he did fight everyone, but he also lost to everyone. Just keep it 1,000. Who the most credible win Adrian Broner got? And what I mean by underachieving on Broner is not giving the game everything he had, cutting corners, becoming an alcoholic, being drunk on podcasts and disrespecting women. Tank doing the same shit, except he not going to sit on no podcast. He just going to disrespect women and fight nobody and beat nobody. Paulie Malignaggi, your best win. Paulie Malignaggi, that was a split decision. There was people, like I remember being in tune with the boxing community during that time, and there was people saying they thought Paulie won. Paulie? I had Adrian Broner winning, but I remember it was that close where it was like when they was named, I'm like, the Broner just fucking. I was like, bro, this shit was kind of close. What really helped Broner is that he had some pop, because if Paulie had pop, I'm trying to tell you, irony. I'm trying to tell you. Shout out to Nick J in the building. Shout out to her. She said, what you said just made a lot of sense. AB was his big homie. We shouldn't be shocked by any of this. Facts. Like I said. You as real as a company you keep. You as real as a company you keep, man. If you surround yourself with 3 bums, you're going to be the 4th one. If you surround yourself, who? Wrench her up. Wrench up who? Smoochie got a wrench. Who you talking about? Bella? Or you talking about Nick J? I fuck with Nick J, so I ain't got no problem giving her one. You are who you hang around. Facts. Nick, yeah. I got you. Once I get to my phone, let me finish doing these comments real quick because we having some good conversations. I don't want to throw this off. Irony Boxer said, I do appreciate the fact that AB challenged himself with Maidana, Porter, and Mikey, but not gonna lie, that Cobbs loss was bad. Well, Irony, by the time Broner had gotten around to Blair Cobbs, he was already a shell of himself years prior to that. You know what I mean? Adrian Broner has had a lot of opportunities, man. And he never seemed to get it right, man. I think that Maidana loss definitely affected him negatively. But what I think really caused it was that, so you know, that I'm not gonna say alleged sparring because they both confirmed it. I think that Earl Spence sparring session that he had with Adrian Broner was the beginning of the end for him in terms of, you know, him having spectacular performances. I think he became real gun shy because they said Adrian Broner had gotten knocked out of his feet from Earl Spence. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, after that, he was very hesitant to let his hands go. That was a constant theme throughout his career. It could have been a psychological thing where he doubted himself. He didn't want to get hit clean. It could have been he didn't trust his conditioning. It could have been a multitude of things. But Adrian Broner is just going to go down as one of those dudes who, you know, what if? And guess what? Gervonta Davis is going to go down as a what if. But there's more to respect about Broner because Broner actually rolled the dice. You know what I mean? He had the motherfucking dice in his hand and he rolled them bitches. Gervonta Davis just shaking them. He want to give you the impression that he gonna throw them motherfuckers, but he ain't never is. He never will. You know what I mean? When you on the court shooting threes, you know what Tank doing? He doing this. He ain't ever gonna shoot that shit, bro. At least Broner missing. He might miss the game winner, but he took the shot. You feel me? So there's more to respect about that. But, you know, Gervonta, he the type nigga, when niggas start, you know, really giving him defense, he shell up and he don't want to get a ball away. You feel me? He just pump fake. He want to give you the impression. It's like the nigga who pulled a gun out and he don't shoot it. But at least Broner shot the motherfucker. I mean, he might have missed, but, you know, he let his motherfucking gun go. This nigga Tank, He just want to let you know the gun there. He ain't trying. He don't want no trouble though. He don't. Oh, okay. Irony's your friend, Smoochie. Shout out to the boy Irony. About time you came around. Yeah, AB ain't no hoe. He let his nuts hang and got in the ring regardless. Yeah, but the problem with Adrian Broner, in my opinion, Nick J, is that he could have been a lot more prepared for those situations. But you know, he never. He took for granted what a lot of people would have taken advantage of. I think his lack of preparation for those big fights really cost him. You know what I mean? But look how what was really making Gervonta Davis look bad is his out of the ring activities. Very similar to Adrian Broner. You know what I mean? Like I said, I remember seeing Gervonta Davis and Adrian Broner out in Reading, PA, at the fights when Robert Easter fought Adrian Granados. You know what I mean? And bro, these motherfuckers had like the same outfit on. This is when Tank was not focused, blowing up to like 180 pounds, big ass belly, big ass head. I mean, neck, tucked inside his shoulders, like very, very strangely built person. You know what I mean? I think like Broner had like a blazer on with a V-neck underneath, big ass belly, every bit of 5'5", 5'6". This nigga Gervonta Davis, every bit of 5'3", 5'4", same height as my mom and shit. Big ass head, waves, with a big ass belly hanging over his belt like he a plumber or some shit. I'm like, yo, these niggas right here, bro. I say, bro, these dudes are an embarrassment to boxing. Show no type of discipline whatsoever. No, it made me appreciate guys like Bernard Hopkins, Andre Ward, Floyd Mayweather more, because even if you didn't see them out, even if he didn't have a fight day, you ain't never was gonna catch him lacking. Never. You know what I mean? No, you would have. I never met Floyd. At this point, I don't want to meet him. But Floyd you never seen Floyd look fat. Bernard Hopkins, he's still on weight to this day. Nigga been retired for years. Andre Ward still looks to be in phenomenal shape. They lived a life. Andre Ward still be sparring, bro. Like, discipline is a motherfucker, man. And Earl Spence, he was undisciplined for a while. He disciplined now, but at this point, I guess you could say it's too late. The damage has been done. I mean, it's unfortunate, but, with the fighters that we look into now, like these young guys, there's going to be a few of them who fuck up too. You say Andre Ward going to be fine forever. Oh, okay, Smoochie, Andre Ward, your type. You know what's crazy about Andre Ward? He disciplined to like the bone, like not just with boxing, but with life. I've never heard Andre Ward curse. Never. How do you idolize Floyd? How you idolize Floyd and don't take away his discipline? It's a great question, Nick J. Oh, okay, Andre Ward. Oh, okay, well, Andre Ward desired amongst the women in the chat. That's what's up. That's what's up. I mean, I'm not going to have an opinion on him. I ain't Josue Vargas, but, that's what's up. I remember my mom said he was ugly, though. That's what my mom do. I used to sit up and watch boxing. She'd be like, who that? My mom a hater. My mom really a hater. She'd be like, who that? Like, that's Andre Ward. He ugly. I'm like, Mom, you like ugly men. So it's like, what are you even talking about? I remember I used to sit up late and watch basketball. R.I.P. to Kobe. She used to talk shit. Kobe ugly. LeBron cute. I'm like, what? I'm like, Mom, you act like I care about that. Like, be for real, yo. Like, you think I'm about to sit there and be like, nah, not my coach. I don't give a fuck. That ain't for me to say. But I never heard nobody, for instance, like I remember people, they used to be like, how they be bigging up like when Lamont, like I remember on Shade Room when Lamont Roach and Tank was at the press conference, they was, oh my God. I was seeing girls put train emojis in the comments. I'm like, yo, they shot the fuck out. But it showed that women had like some type of attraction to these guys. Never really saw that with Andre Ward. So that's interesting. But Andre Ward, the GOAT, bro. I want to meet Andre Ward. Andre Ward definitely GOATed. Nick J, they may have idolized Floyd, but not for those reasons. They wanted what Floyd was showing off, like the money, the cars, you know what I mean? The jewelry. That's what they idolized. They didn't really, and this is the quote that's been going around, and it's true. It's a bit cliche, but it's relevant. They wanted what came with Money Mayweather, but they didn't want to do what Pretty Boy Floyd had to do to get in that position. You feel what I'm saying? Like, they like the flashy shit that came with it. But they didn't want to put in the work to get to that position. You feel what I mean? Andre Ward definitely goated. A nigga told Tank to take his head off so he could see his hair. You fucking lying. Who? Hold on. Ain't no fucking way. You lying. That's some weird bro, that's weird, bro. Yeah, Andre Ward, he be coming to Philly too, but he sneak over here. Like, he don't announce it. That shit be pissing me off. Bro, he did the interview with Bernard Hopkins, the interview with Cool Boy Steph, and Lamont Roach, all in Philly. All in Philly. Now, he gonna tell Stephen Fulton the other day during the interview, yeah, man, I'm gonna come to Philly, man. Just, yo, man, show me around. Bro, let me do that, nigga. Bro, I'm a way bigger fan of you than motherfucking Stephen Fulton is, bro. I don't give a fuck. Like, I know y'all boxing brothers. Yeah, cool, bro. I would have been a pro too if I didn't get fucking sick, nigga. Like, nigga, I want to meet Andre Ward, bro. Why is that so hard to do? Like, I met my other favorite fighter of all time. I didn't get to meet Lennox Lewis, and I was still mad about that, bro. There was one flight that I was supposed to catch out to LA for the fights, but my fighter had gotten pulled out on a PBC car, so I couldn't go. But my dad was literally kicking it with Lennox Lewis, bro. It's really like my favorite fighters of all time: Tito Trinidad, James Toney, it's Andre Ward, Lennox Lewis, and you know my fifth one changes all the time. Like, bro, I'm gonna tell y'all how bad I can meet Andre Ward at church. What church? Bro, I'm not from the West Coast. I don't know. But let me tell y'all this. I wanted to do an interview with Andre Ward so bad. Bro, I was DMing his kids, bro. I literally DM'd one of his sons. I'm like, bro, is there any way? Ignore. Like, damn, dog. Like, this motherfucker right here, boy. Andre Ward is the man, bro. Like, you don't know how many times I really sat back and watched all his fights. There ain't not one fight I ain't watched from Andre Ward. I watched the Chad Dawson one all the time. I watched the first and second Kovalev fights. I mean, even though the fucking first one gave me an anxiety attack when it was going on. I watched the Carl Froch one. Watched that John habitual, like, religiously. Like, bro, Andre Ward, I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna keep it real, y'all. One of the ways that I learned how to fight a southpaw was from watching Andre Ward fight Chad Dawson. Of course, my dad gave me game. You know what I mean? He knowledgeable. But that film study, that right there, everything that Andre Ward did against that southpaw, and Chad Dawson was him at that time. Wasn't no washed up. He was him. That right there was my blueprint to understanding how to approach southpaws. Like, Andre Ward, he's the man, bro. And I was kind of similar to Andre Ward, not in terms of style, but you know, he said it on the record. He wasn't the dude who was blessed with like this God-given ability with the speed, the power. And I wasn't blessed. I wasn't the most athletic dude. I wasn't the most gifted dude. But it was something that I shared with Andre Ward, and that was mental fortitude. You feel what I'm saying? Like, just having that focus, that discipline. Like, I still live a lifestyle to this day. You ain't gonna catch me drinking. You ain't gonna catch me smoking. You're not gonna catch me partying, blowing up crazy in weight. Like, you don't catch them things. Like, so I looked at Andre Ward. You know how people looked at Floyd and wanted to be, bro, I wanted to be like Andre Ward. I was a huge Floyd fan growing up. But once I hit my older teenage years, I was like, bro, that's exactly who I want to be. You feel me? And it's like Andre Ward be sitting down and doing interviews with everybody, doing in-depth interviews. Bro, let me do that with you. Because I feel like there's a lot about Andre Ward. And I seen he has his book, Killing the Image and all that. But like, bro, you ain't never – I would do the best interview with Andre Ward on the – just because I watched everything about him coming up. Just saying. Love to meet Andre Ward. Interview, whatever the case is. Shit. Even if I could do some pad work with you, like something. Can I have at least one moment? Let me get a glove sign so I can show the kids at the boxing gym. Or we got over 200 kids at the gym looking to do something, you know, keeping kids off the street and all that. Shit, do I gotta pull up the Andre Ward church? Let me know. Shit. Tito Trinidad is the man. I was able to meet Tito Trinidad at the Atlantic City Boxing Hall of Fame because he got inducted with Kelly Pavlik, Angel Man Freddie, Ray Mercer. I met Ray Mercer, great guy. Michael Spinks. Who else? I didn't go the following year, man. I missed out on meeting Shannon Briggs. Let's go, champ. Shit, man. I always wanted to meet Shannon Briggs too. Shannon Briggs said he was gonna come to my gym, but he ain't never do that. Motherfucker. Man, I would love to interview Andre Ward. That'll be my most prepared interview. Wait till y'all see the one I do with Nonito Donaire. Wait till y'all see the one I do with Nonito Donaire, bro. Let me see. Yeah, the Crawford one was a masterclass. But I did meet Tito Trinidad at the Atlantic City Boxing Hall of Fame. Bro, I got up like at 6 in the morning, drove over there with my pop. His translator while he was down in AC was a good friend of mine. Shout out to Catherine. I couldn't find Tito. Cooper, what up, brother? Your name kind of weird, but we gonna let it rock. But yeah, that's a crazy name. That's just giving troll vibes already. You're gonna be a troll, at least hide it so you can last in the chat a little longer, bro. Your name almost eligible to get packed early. Yeah. This fight with Mikkel Kessler was a good fight too. Edison Miranda. Arthur Abraham. But Donaire got a title shot coming up against the killer, they say. That's what's up. Definitely go ahead and interview soon. I gotta follow up with Rachel. Shout out to Rachel Donaire. But damn, Tito Trinidad was one of the nicest people, bro. He treated me like he knew me. And I couldn't believe he was in front of me, bro. I couldn't believe it because you got to understand, I've been watching Tito Trinidad on the TV screens. What we met in like 20, what was that? I don't even know what year that was that I met Tito. Yeah, I met Tito when he got inducted in the Hall of Fame in Atlantic City. But Tito should have stayed at 54. That dude had a crazy run. Yeah. Hold on, I think my son's up. My son still got a bad cough, y'all. You had a great time with them in Vegas. Shout out to the Donairs, man. Tito just wanted that Bernard Hopkins smoke, man, because B-Hop was over there running shit at 60. He definitely rushed this process. Because I think he only had like 3 fights at 54. You say your son up watching Coco Melon? Yeah, I'll be keeping my son away from Coco Melon. I got him like watching more educational stuff. It's paying off because he's starting to say a lot of words, and my son can count and all already. Yo, G tatted up. I actually I had read the super chat towards the end of the live. For some reason I didn't catch it while it was on. But I appreciate you supporting the channel, brother. Thank you. I didn't read it until the end though. For some reason I didn't see it come up on a timeline. Like I said, I appreciate you, brother. Shout out to everybody that's been sending super chats, bro. You know what I mean? My channel's small, so I don't really make that much. But you know, the recognition I get is very much appreciated. From 154 to 168, who do you think is Crawford's toughest fight? Jaron Ennis at 54, 60, John Beck 68. Who's the toughest fight for him at 68? 68 kind of dead in the water right now. I ain't gonna lie. You got some formidable contenders like Christian and Billy, but he got Lester Martinez problems. Charlo, which one you talking about, Des? Crawford thinks shit's sweet with John Beck. I don't think so. I think he has a good understanding of who John Beck is. And when you get to the top like Terrence Crawford do, you don't really get that far underestimating niggas. This is my opinion. Hamza might give Crawford hell too. The thing is, my fault. I don't know if Hamza's experienced enough to deal with somebody like Terrence Crawford. He's tall. He got some good power. But, you know, Crawford definitely got the two. And it ain't like Crawford got a short reach neither. So he said, who I got in that Berlanga Resendiz fight? Anonymous, you funny as shit. You be knowing how to stir the pot, boy. We spoke about that already, but I guess you want me to tell the chat. Yeah, I forgot about Hamza too, but to keep it real, Hamza's still new to the division. You know what I mean? I would like to see Hamza prove himself with like another top 68, like a Pacheco or something. You are also half asleep, though. Yeah. That is very true, brother. Yo, this shit nasty. This shit smell bad. My son gonna hate this shit. Resendiz, to be honest, let's just keep it real, man. Edgar Berlanga, that's not a fight that he should be taking next. If that's what he's doing, you know, I guess I'll give him some props for that because, I mean, he was looking for the Caleb Plant fight. So, you know, you fighting the guy. I mean, well, supposedly he was looking for the Caleb Plant fight. You know, he's mentioned Caleb Plant name on multiple occasions. So to fight the man to beat, you know, Caleb Plant, you know, that's respectable. However, like I said, Caleb, I think Edgar Berlanga would be doing a huge disservice to himself at this point in time by, you know, fighting by somebody like Resendiz. Why are you coming off of a knockout loss, man? You need to be going back to the drawing board and retrace your steps in this shit and not, you know, cut any corners. You know what I mean? There's fights that you should have taken in your career to help you develop as a fighter, but you did not. So as a result, you're looking mediocre in these fights that you should be holding your own in. Like, come on, bro. Hamza Shiraz could rumble. There ain't no doubt, but there's no way that you should have been in there with Hamza Shiraz being as inexperienced as you are. Seriously. Armando Resendiz, this is somebody who, you know, is hittable. So Edgar Berlanga has a chance because he is a big puncher. However, you know, Resendiz' aggression, you know, his punching power, his stamina. Like that's gonna give Berlanga a lot of trouble, and Berlanga visibly gets hurt when he gets hit clean. Look at a lot of the shots that Edgar Berlanga gets hit with clean, he usually go down or he buckle up with. Like Berlanga doesn't have the best punch resistance, so that's what's really concerning to me. It says, you see this list, Mazuma, it looks like a tweet from Clarissa Shields. Let me go ahead and take a look at that. Let's see what Clarissa talking about. Ranking Jake Paul's 10 best replacements for Gervonta Davis. Anthony Joshua, Francis Ngannou, Ryan Garcia, Terrence Crawford, Dorticos, Andre Ward, Nate Diaz, Clarissa Shields, Conor McGregor, Floyd Mayweather Jr. Hey, that gotta be fake. There's no way. Yeah, she said, "Why I'm on this list." Don't be acting like you don't want to be on that list, bitch. Because let me not call her that before Pat Pools try to come over here and fuck me up. Don't be acting like you don't want to be on this list. Because every time I hear you talking, you always talking about fighting other men. So don't get mad when you a possible opponent for a man. Jake Paul, son told me Jake Paul will fight you and jab you in your titty. Keep playing, Clarissa. You be wanting to rumble men so bad, you might as well just go ahead and rumble Jake. You might as well go rumble Jake. You talking about fighting Triple G and all that? Go fight you with Jake Paul. You the GOAT, right? Go ahead. She said she would take the fight. I bet she would. Was Clarissa really paying for me? I don't know about that. But her being on the list is hilarious. I don't know if that was a troll or what. That's funny, though. That just goes to show how crazy Jake Paul is. Jake Paul will fight anybody for a bag. He ain't got no shame either. I ain't gonna lie, for the culture, Francis Ngannou should entertain that fight. For the culture, bro. You got this nigga Jake Paul looking like he macho out here. Well, we know he a hoe. But you over here talking about, oh, stay in your lane. Ngannou, go fuck this nigga up, bro. You acting like you above a Jake Paul fight, nigga. Come on, dog. You fought Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua. You got sparked by one of them. Man, go ahead and get you something with Jake Paul. Stop acting like you ain't about the money, nigga. What's wrong with him? You want to fight Wilder, washed up ass, but you don't want to fight Jake Paul. Man, if you don't go knock that white boy out and get you a bag, nigga, what's wrong with you? Man, Ngannou should do it. You act like you got some big shit you want to do in boxing. You ain't got no world title lined up, nigga. Only Tank would make Jake kind of likable. Well, let's fuck both of them niggas. But I hear what you're saying, though, Des. But there is, like I said, like I've said before, I sound like Floyd. Like I said before, Jake Paul has actually done some likable shit, especially in Puerto Rico. Him restoring all them boxing gyms through his charity. He said he got paid handsomely. He ain't say, so show. Here for boxing, what up? He beat Fury and good money if he loses. It don't matter because he's not a real boxer. Who would you say is more dumb, T.O. or Tank? Oh, that's a hell of a question, Sean. Who's more dumb? Damn, that's a damn. Well, I never heard of T.O. putting hands on women, so it might be Tank. I also never heard of T.O. getting into legal trouble outside of his divorce. But damn, T.O. is dumb. T.O. is dumb. I don't even want T.O. to look good in this situation. But to be real, Tank is definitely dumb. It's definitely more dumb, which is sad because I don't want him to sound more intelligent than a black man, but yeah, they both R3 Dumb and Dumber. No, T.O.'s a dummy. He's a goofy, but he's definitely dumb too. Cause like have you ever heard T.O. talk? Like, what did he say the other day? Remember when he was arguing with Devin Haney? And he said, "You were plural," or some shit like that. And I was like, huh? Did he just mistake plural for past tense? He said, "You were plural." I was like, did this nigga go to school? Bro, y'all remember that shit, right? Y'all remember that shit? He was arguing with Dev, and Dev was like, "You still got your O?" And he was like, "Do you still got your Ring magazine belt?" He said, "I did." Oh, okay. So I think Dev was like, he said, "I had that." He was like, "Had, plural." I was like, nigga, and I know your pop be helping niggas get their high school diploma. Did your pop, your cokehead ass daddy, help you get your diploma too, nigga? Like, what? I'm like, yo, like, what is we talking about?
Yes, hello, how you doing? This is Junior with the high school diploma program. Please text me.
Yeah, T.O. Senior definitely taught. He definitely got his son his high school diploma. Cause ain't no way you went through school and you confused plural, which got nothing to do with past, present, or like current, future, or past tense. Like I don't know where you got that from. I don't even know how you mix them up. They're not even in like the same ballpark. Who you think will win a spelling bee between T.O. Tank or Ryan? I don't think Ryan's dumb. I just think I think he's just a piece of shit. Ryan doesn't come across as like an idiot to me. You know what I mean? I just think Ryan's a racist, and he's just a shitty individual. There's people who's smart, but they just shitty people. Like I never heard Ryan like he's actually well spoken, like from interviews that I've seen with him and shit like that. Um, like I just seen him like I seen him do that show with Max Kellerman and shit like that. And he actually was able to fit into that room, and it takes a certain level of intelligence to do that. Like I can't see Tank sitting in a room with like all these boxing analysts and be able to match wits with them or be as well spoken as them. I could just see Tank like, I don't know. I don't know. It's like I don't know. I don't know. It's like for sure, I don't know. Nigga's an idiot. I mean, Ryan's a liar for sure. That ashwagandha shit, he's a liar. Um, but being a liar don't really equate to being dumb. You feel me? He like, yeah. He. So what do you think about the Terrence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez fight? What was your take on that, Tank? Tank Crawford. Yeah. His name Crawford. Yeah, Crawford. He got a good jab for sure. For sure. Canelo, he just looked, I don't know. Thanks, Tank. Who will win a spelling bee? I think Ryan will win. I don't fuck with neither one of them. But And I think Ryan would win. Because, Ryan a little whitewash, you know what I mean? So he probably had an okay, education or whatever. T.O. probably got his high school diploma from his dope fiend ass daddy. And Tank, that motherfucker ain't opened a textbook since the motherfucker took his driver license test or some shit. I don't know. The Be More school trash. You when the teacher say do and two. Well, that's just, that's their lingo. You know what I mean? But Philly don't got the best education system neither. But I did really well in school, fortunately. People be thinking I'm dumb, though. That'd be the crazy part. I'm like, bro, I literally had academic scholarships to multiple colleges. Had a high SAT score. I took an IQ test, and I scored a 134 on it. And that shit, they said that I'm moderately gifted. I don't know what that means. Like a little, like moderately means like a little gifted. It's like, all right, whatever that means, I'll take it. As long as you ain't saying I'm a dummy. Let me see. Listen, I'm not saying that Ryan's smart. You asked me who's the dumbest between all of them. And I think Ryan is smarter than T.O. and Tank. That don't necessarily mean he's smart, though. He's just smarter. You put all three of them in a room, it's gonna be a room with some dumbass niggas. You feel me? But if you asking me who's smarter between Ryan, Tank, and T.O., Ryan comes across as a smarter person. But he still may very well be dumb. You know what I mean? Me being smarter than somebody don't mean I'm intelligent. Just say that. And I kind of understand Tank. Like I was saying this, I had said this before. Nick J asked me a question in the chat. Why I don't see it? Oh, okay. Damn, there was a few comments that happened after that. Nick J says, Barrios versus Garcia, thoughts? I mean, if you're asking my thoughts on the fight, I think it's trash, to be honest with you. One, because, Ryan Garcia really don't deserve to fight. But there's this trend going on where people are losing and they're automatically getting title shots. I just think that Ryan Garcia is an example of boxing of like motherfucker like that pretty girl privilege. I guess you would say motherfuckers is attracted to him. They want to see him be a star because the motherfucker, I guess he too handsome to be regular. I don't know what it is. Like these niggas is attracted to him and they'll do whatever they can to put him in a power position, even though he showed you time and time again. Even though he's showing you time and time again that he's not an elite level fighter, but for some reason they want to have a world title around his waist so bad. So I guess like I said, is that pretty girl privilege. Now, how does he actually match up with Mario Barrios? Mario Barrios has been looking terrible in his last few fights, where like initially he'll come out and look okay, and then in the mid to later rounds he looks absolute trash. I don't know exactly what has really hindered, Mario Barrios in terms of his development as a fighter and his overall like progression as like a champion. But you're talking about somebody who looked mediocre against Abel Ramos. Was able to get Abel Ramos is a gatekeeper in the welterweight division. You got to draw against him, and it was supposed to be, like a gimme fight, a title defense. You know what I mean? You look mediocre against him, and then you fought a 46-year-old Manny Pacquiao coming off of a 4-year layoff and a loss. And you made this motherfucker feel like he turned the clock back to the point where he feel like he could hang with these young niggas. So Mario Barrios has been looking very disappointing. When we look over the overall style matchup, Barrios got a good jab. He got some good hand speed with some good combinations, but I don't think he's going to really – I think as the rounds go on, it'll really go more and more in Ryan Garcia's favor because Ryan Garcia, he's not the most skilled guy, but one thing I do know based off of their most recent fights that Ryan Garcia has the better gas tank. And I've seen Ryan Garcia, even prior to being considered a drug cheat, You know, when you watch like the Luke Campbell fight, when you watch the Oscar Duarte fight, you know, we've seen him maintain his power even in the later rounds, but we've seen Mario Barrios diminish as the rounds go on, look worse as the rounds go on. And, you know, that could be going on for multiple reasons. He could be a damaged fighter. He could be somebody who, you know, is, you know, cutting too much weight or not having, you know, good training camps. I don't know. Or maybe Mario Barrios is a burnt out fighter. Maybe he's just, maybe he cut corners. I don't know. But because Ryan Garcia seems to maintain strength in the later rounds or even get, you know, and even some cases look stronger as the rounds go on, he may have the edge against Mario Barrios. So let's keep it real. Mario Barrios don't got the best defense. He don't. And, you know, Ryan Garcia, you know what he specializes in. And if he's able to get a good shot on Mario Barrios, he could put him down and possibly put him away. You know what I mean? So I don't know who really wins that fight. Both of these guys are below average, you know, below average fighters to me. But I think Ryan Garcia has something that stands out more than anything that Mario Barrios brings to the table, and that's the hand speed and the, you know, more specifically the left hook. And the better conditioning from what I've noticed. Because even with the Rolly fight, you know, he didn't look tired in the Rolly fight. He just didn't want to engage because he's a pussy, right? Because he's scared. He didn't want to get hit no more. I don't know if Mario Barrios has that power that could really discourage Ryan Garcia. You know, historically, he's shown some solid power, but not, you know, the type of power that Rolly poses or any of the top punchers in, you know, boxing. I don't think Mario Barrios really has that. To me, you know, watching Mario Barrios in the past, he seems like a sharp puncher. You know what I mean? Like where he'll just catch you with like a sharp combination, or, you know, he'll get in a punch that you don't see and it just catches you off guard. It seems like he has that type of, you know, power. So I don't know if that'll really deter somebody like Ryan Garcia. I think Ryan might actually clip Barrios, to be real with you, especially if Barrios get a little bit daring in there. He might, you know, Ryan got some good timing on that left hook. He probably catch Mario Barrios on the temple or something, fuck up his equilibrium. He probably pack him. To keep it real, he might just pack him. Yeah, and we seen Barrios get hurt to the body before. And we seen Ryan Garcia stop niggas to the body before. So that's an avenue as well. But Ryan Garcia, he's limited, but that one thing he may have may be enough to beat somebody like Mario Barrios, who hasn't looked impressive in years. He hasn't really looked impressive to me since the Ugas fight. And the only reason why he might have looked impressive in that performance because he re-injured something that he re-injured, you know, your Dennis Ugas' eye. And you could thank Earl Spence for that. Just like when Margarito got his orbital broke by Manny Pacquiao, Cotto re-injured it. You got to thank Pacquiao for that. Because Cotto Margarito 2 was looking just like the first fight. The difference was Margarito had that eye injury, and they had to stop it as a result of that. Marlon says Barrios was mentally shocked. He couldn't believe he was in the ring with a legend. That's a terrible quality. Like, if you freezing underneath them lights because you got a legend in front of you, that make me really question whether you built for this shit or not. T9's boxing class says Barrios should have stood 100. I don't know if this is a trainer issue. I really don't. I don't know if this is a trainer issue. It seems like it's something going on with Barrios from a mental aspect. It seemed like he unsure of himself. It don't seem like he got that. It don't seem like he hungry, man. Like I was disgusted. I ain't gonna lie. When his trainer, I think his name Bob Santos, when Bob Santos was telling him, instructing him to not touch Manny Pacquiao's gloves, like stop showing him respect, you know what I mean? Like get on him, which was great advice. This man Mario Barrios would get up, walk to Manny Pacquiao in the center of the ring and touch gloves. I was like, yo, this is some disrespectful shit. I'm like, what? Did you not hear what your coach told you? Bro, on some real shit, that probably would have made me slap the shit out of Barrios in that corner, bro. And I've never done it through a fighter, but that might have been the moment. Like, bro, why the fuck you ain't listening to what I'm telling you? Especially when you got, a high level fight like that with a world title. Like, bro, you need to feel the urgency, cuz. Like, I don't give a fuck if you fire me after this. Nigga, you stupid, nigga. Like, this nigga Pacquiao letting his slow ass hands go off on you, and you just sitting there just happy to be in the ring with him. Barrios needs that war mentality. Facts. Nick J says it's an interesting matchup. Neither one of their last fights was a good look. Barrios was paid not to beat Manny, in my opinion. That was all a show in the corner. I don't know about that, but I just think Mario Barrios just he ass, bro. He mediocre, man. Like, I feel like, and I'm gonna tell you why it wouldn't even be worth taking money to look unimpressive or even lose to Manny. Because if you beat Manny, you'll probably make more than what they're willing to pay you. So why would I take, let's say hypothetically speaking, I'm not saying that's true. Let's say they, on top of your purse, they give you an additional $2 million or $1 to $2 million to, pretty much take a dive against Pacquiao. Why would I do that when if I knock Pacquiao the fuck out, I probably make double that? That don't even make sense. So I'm gonna take this $1 million. I'm gonna take this additional $1 million to get a draw with Pacquiao, and then my next payday will probably be significantly less because I look unimpressive in my last showing. Why would I do that when I could beat the dog shit out of Manny Pacquiao and get into another big fight where I could be making $4 to $5 million? Why would I do that? I see more of a come up and beating Pacquiao than taking a dive for him. That's just, that would be my thought process. But you never know. You never know. Barrios is, yeah. That boy doo-doo garbage. For sure. Now, who more thorough than me? Paint a picture of my pain for the world to see. But let's get these last questions before I get up out of here. Out of power in the building, he says, I like and don't like Barrios. I like he don't let the indigenous and Aztec blood fade, like how he in that culture, like the real Mexican bloodline. He said that's about the only thing I like about Barrios. He keeps the indigenous and Aztec blood culture alive and not letting it die. Yeah, that's dope, but you're not performing like one, bro. You know what I mean? Like that Aztec, ain't they known for being warriors and shit like that? It's like, I like that you showing love to your people and your ancestors and shit like that. But that also comes with some type of responsibility. Like, I ain't about to be repping out, my ancestors being warriors and shit, and then I'm in there boxing like a motherfucking cupcake. You know what I mean? That shit ass backwards. You got a soft spot for Barrios, Nick J. Oh man. I like Barrios coming up. Like I said, I watched Barrios very early in his career, man. Like, I remember they was calling him, and I've been saying this for a while, because he used to fight in PA regularly. They used to call him the Golden Boy. Before the Aztec Warrior, El Azteca, and all that shit, they was calling him the Golden Boy. When he was like at 130. He was like at 130, 135. No. He was at 140 because he fought Naeem Nelson. And Naeem Nelson was from Philly. I remember that. Like, I remember that, bro. He was very sharp. I was very high on Mario Barrios. But it's like after the Keith Thurman fight, he just plummeted. Barrios a real one, though. He a name in the sport till he hang it up. I mean, that's your opinion. I don't know if he a real one. You know what I mean? Because part of being a real one is, you know, doing some real shit. Like, I mean, you fought Tank, you fought Thurman. I don't know, though, bro. It's hard to call him a real one when he performed like how he been performing. Barrios stand 10 toes with who? Niggas stand 10 toes and get draws, nigga. Marlon 2631 says Mario Barrios is average for world level standards, but put him up against a tomato can, he would be elite. Nigga, what was Abel Ramos? Abel Ramos elite? And then it's like, bro, he had opportunities to unify with Jaron, Ennis, and shit like that, bro. He wouldn't even look his fucking way. Yo, Bully said he probably can't take his face being busted and blown up anymore, bro. His face swelled up bad, bro. Hey, bro, he was 2 rounds. I mean, so what? You know, if he was 2 rounds from being Tank, then he should have got through those 2 rounds. The reality is he didn't. So I ain't about to give him credit for almost winning a fight. That shit don't even make sense to me. Almost doing something don't count. That's like giving somebody a participation award. Like, man, you like with Berlanga, man, you went 12 rounds with Canelo, man. Man, you a beast, man. You lost every round, but you did all 12. It's like, so what? You lost all 12. You lost, nigga. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna get up out of here, man. I appreciate everybody that came through and show love as always. Y'all go ahead and hit the like button on the way out. That'd be very much appreciated. I'm gonna go ahead and give my son this cough syrup. You know what I mean? Shout out to my fathers, my mothers and fathers out here that be taking care of their sick kids. You feel what I mean? This shit definitely a job, but somebody got to do it. You feel what I mean? I'll be back at y'all 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow night to continue cooking up on what's going on in the boxing world, man. Until then, hope you guys have a blessed, beautiful night. I'm up out of here, man. Peace.